wait for the freeze to end.
Are we frozen?
You were for literally like a second.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Like real still. Will I trick you?
No, because you're really bad at staying still.
It's true.
All right. Greetings, true believers. Welcome to a very special episode. They're all very special episodes of Heather and Sky's Superpower Hour. I am your host, the Martian, Skylar Mars. My powers include flight, heat vision, turning invisible, and I make pretty decent microwave burritos.
And I'm Heather, and my superpowers include knowing all the words to Hamilton.
This is true. She probably knows all the words to Hamilton.
I know all the words to Hamilton.
So this is our comic culture podcast. In all seriousness, I am a former professional wrestler and I've been podcasting for almost 5 years. And then this is my lovely fiance below me, who froze for a second, froze for another second. There she is. Okay. My lovely fiance, Heather. She is the author of 1 out of 5 things Adeline Stein left on the bus on her way to the zoo.
Very close.
I will never, ever get that right.
That's okay. It's okay. 1 out of 5 items that Adeline Stein left on the bus on the way to the zoo. You said things. It was very, very close. Like this close.
I'm not frozen. I'm just angry. Anyway. Anyways. And author of Imaging the Voodoo Queen, both of which are available on Amazon. That really got me. That was really annoying.
Oh.
But we've got some comic book news to go over for today.
We do.
First off, wow, I'm going to ruin her name, and I feel so bad. But today it was announced the casting of the new She-Hulk for Disney Plus's new She-Hulk show. And oh gosh, I'm going to butcher the name. Okay. I looked it up just to make sure I don't get it wrong. Tatiana Malkani. I'm probably butchering that name still. Tatiana Malkani will be cast as the She-Hulk in Disney Plus's new show, and I'm very excited to see what she can do. What's really interesting to me is that she's a relatively unknown actress. I looked into it, and she's basically starred in nothing American.
Yeah, but she's starred in a lot of things. But
she has a lot of credits to her name, but I literally don't know of anyone. I know one of them was called Orphan Black, and it was on BBC America, and that's literally the only thing she's starred on that's been crossover.
Yeah.
So I got nothing. If any of you guys are Orphan Black fans, say something in the comments or something. Maybe you can educate us. Because prior to this, I knew nothing about Orphan Black, and I still don't. I just know it exists.
Yeah. I've never watched it myself, but she's a phenomenal actress, so I'm excited to see what they do.
Right. And in DC news, Henry Cavill will be staying on as Superman. I think we can all agree that after, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., after being in The Witcher, after being in Mission Impossible, I think we can all agree that Henry Cavill can be a very good actor when he's given the right material. So I just hope that someone finally figures out how to do Superman right so that Henry Cavill can really show off what he's capable of.
Absolutely.
There's motorcycles outside. I'm just waiting for them to pass. Okay, I think it's gone. Anyways, but back to the show. Man, I'm going to have to edit the crap out of this beginning. But now that we've done that, now we can go to our main topic. Wait, we had a question for the day, wasn't it?
Yes. Question of the day is what superpower would you have if you could have a superpower?
Okay.
So we both have our guesses, and let's do it at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, flight.
Flight.
Yeah, I would guess flight for you.
I would guess flight for you too. Because we both have horrible joint problems. My guess was based solely on the fact that we wouldn't have to move as much if we could fly.
That's true, but it actually doesn't even make my top 3.
Wow.
First one is a healing factor like Wolverine, which would circumvent the whole needing to fly issue, because then I could walk and it wouldn't hurt. Second power would be to heal other people like Zorn, like good Zorn, not like crappy plot twist Zorn.
I thought Zorn wasn't Zorn a character from a show that was a spoof of He-Man?
He might have been, but I'm talking about Zorn the X-Man.
Oh.
Really cool guy, has like a star as a head, so he wears like this metal mask, and he's chill. You should look him up.
Okay.
But he can heal people, so I would like that, or I would like telekinesis, which means I would get a lot more done.
Right.
I could do stuff with my brain.
Yes.
And that would be like super useful. At first I was thinking super speed, because like I always feel like my hands can't keep up with my brain, like when I'm trying to do something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? No, because it would just be just as long and just as boring for me. It would just go faster for everyone else. So
right.
No, that's not fair. I'm going to go with telekinesis. What would you choose?
For my superpower?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say super smart.
Ooh, super smart. You already are super smart. That's not fair.
No.
Yeah.
I have the combined intelligence of concrete.
Mm-mm. Not true.
Which, speaking of very odd superpowers, maybe that's about as close to a transition as we'll get in this episode.
Yes.
Today we're talking about the Suicide Squad, mainly the new film by James Gunn coming out in August of 2021, as the major characters have all been announced, including the cast. And I am both baffled and not baffled by the casting choice and the characters selected to be in it, because, how do I put this? I feel like Gunn might be flexing here.
Oh, yeah.
So Gunn took the Guardians of the Galaxy, which were all, not a single one was a mainstream comic character. As a matter of fact, before Gunn got to the Guardians of the Galaxy, not only were they obscure, they were unknown even by the most comic booky of comic book fans. And they had so many iterations, such a revolving cast that there was no one cast that he took from. He took several characters from throughout the series and put it together into his own variant of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And almost none of them kept their personalities or real storylines. He pretty much just got to do OCs, is basically what I'm saying. Like, all those characters exist, and they're pretty close, but, like, for example, Star-Lord is a combination of, like, 3 characters. Rocket Raccoon has a girlfriend who I'm really sad has yet to show up in the movies. She's an otter. Her name is Lila.
Yes.
I love Lila. I'm sad that she never shows up. I hope that in Love and Thunder, if the whole theme is love, that Rocket Raccoon's girlfriend shows up, because I think it'd be so funny if, like, they have to visit her to get some super weapon because she owns a space toy store. This is all canon. She owns a space toy store. And I want them to have to go to the toy store, and Rocket's going through, and he's like, it's just some girl I know, and he's, like, being all toxically masculine, like, trying to, like, it's nothing. And then Lila shows up, and she's like, baby, and then, like, hugs him and shit, and then he's like, guys, this is my girlfriend, her name is Lila. And he's, like, trying to, like, keep his tough act on while he's being hugged by an otter.
That would be so adorable. Like,
that would be so funny.
My heart would just explode.
But again, back to the subject at hand, the Suicide Squad, they've announced the cast. You want to say something?
I actually was looking through my action figures, and I found some figures of the Suicide Squad that I would love. And keep a straight face. I'm trying so hard.
I already can't wait.
So,
what are your figures for this week?
I have Rick Flag. And the other one I have is King Shark.
Wow. Was that it?
That's it.
Wow. Between that and what was it? Your Captain Kirk cover of Elton John?
Yes.
I love you, babe. That was painful, though.
No, it was awesome, and I'm very funny.
Sure, why not? Uh, so, it's going to be hard to top. But anyways, um, so the Suicide Squad, they have one of the most bizarre casts because a lot of these characters like don't show up a lot, much like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm.
And last time they had a lot to work with. They had Katana, they had Deadshot, they had Captain Boomerang, who they're going to keep. They had Killer Croc, like a lot of guys who were far more recognizable than this go around. Like, it's not even a contest. Like, the most recognizable guys from this iteration are Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Harley.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Flag, if you saw the last one, but Rick Flag. The scientist lady who brought them together. Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
I blanked on Amanda Waller for a second. But anyways, this time they had some odd choices.
They did have some odd choices, and I'm excited to go over them with you.
Yes. So, would you like to try and help me give them a list? Because there were so many characters.
Well, I just had a handful that I researched personally.
Yes.
The Thinker, Arm Fall Off Boy, Polka Dot Man, and I feel like there was another one. There probably is another one that I will remember at some point.
Anyways, then there was Savant, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, King Shark, Weasel, Javelin. I feel like I'm missing one of the new ones.
There's like a bunch that are just like,
yeah,
this is another soldier.
And whoever Pete Davidson is playing,
another soldier.
I completely blanked. I completely blank on who Pete Davidson is playing, but Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live is going to be in a superhero movie.
I like him.
It's one of those casting decisions where you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And I love Pete Davidson. I just thought that was really odd. Like, this seems like a role he'd laugh at.
I think he's going to knock it out of the park. I think he's...
I gotta be 100% honest. I feel like at some point someone was like thinking about casting him as the Joker. I'm not saying that's a good decision. I'm saying someone thought about it.
They did. I'm going to say that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd have to play like a comedy superhero in theory, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got to be 100% honest. So, okay, one thing we're going to cover is James Gunn said, don't get attached to any of these characters. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is making it out of this movie alive. So, that being said, clearly we are going to have some of these characters die off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, judging from the list, we kind of have theories as to who's going to get killed.
We do. But do you want to go through our character overness first?
I know what you meant, and yeah, why don't we do it? But let's just like both feel ashamed for 2 seconds that we both forgot Pete Davidson.
No, I remembered Pete Davidson because I said like random soldier guys. And he's a random soldier guy.
Fair enough. Him and Bloodsport are essentially soldiers. So is Peacemaker, but Peacemaker has a really interesting twist.
Yes, absolutely. So, do you want to do, like, switch back and forth? How do you want to do this?
Sure.
Do you want me to do Thinker, Arm Fall Off Boy, or Polka Dot Man first?
I don't have my list in front of me, so why don't you go first?
Yes. But, like, do you want me to do Thinker, Arm Fall Off Boy, or Polka Dot Man first?
Do Arm Fall Off Boy. Let's just get the weirdest one out of the way.
Yes. Okay. Arm fall off boy. Did you know arm
Oh,
fall
before we go over that one, in this movie he'll be called TDK.
the
I have
detachable
not figured out what.
the detachable kid?
Oh, that's not much better than Arm
Oh
Fall
no,
Off.
not. So I'm gonna be calling him arm fall off boy for the
Fair
count.
enough. Yikes, dude.
Did you know he has a whole family? And this is canon. This is actual canon. This is in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen #9 canon. Do you want to
Okay,
talk about his family?
go for it.
Butt fall off Gima Deb Deb. Fingers fall off Gal. Head fall off Mom. Legs fall apart in segments Dad. That's his family. He's got a
That wasn't a joke. You didn't make that up.
I did not make that up. I wish I made it up. It hurts
Ooh.
my heart that I did not make that up.
Wow.
This is real life. Real comic book life, but real life.
What a character.
Right?
So, before we get to the who's gonna die section,
Yeah, he's gonna die.
he's not making it.
He's not making
I
it.
know we all waited for Nathan Fillion to play a superhero, but yeah, this is all you're getting.
Yeah, but like, okay, so if we're gonna be completely fair to the detachable kid, he was written as a satire character. This is not like he was satire tryouts for the Legion of Superheroes, and they were like, yeah, we don't need you, because basically, like, he is what his name says. His arm falls off so he can hit people with his own arm, which would be more successful if he just carried a big stick, because then he would have both arms to swing the stick. But no. Something else that's super exciting about Arm Fall Off Boy. So exciting. He has a sound effect. Wolverine has snicked when his little claws come out.
Okay.
Nightcrawler has bamf when he like poofs one place to another.
Okay.
Arm Fall Off Boy has plorp. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Plorp. 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 It's beautiful. I'm so looking forward to seeing him. He's going to be great.
We have barely started the list and my brain is broken.
All right, so your turn.
Arm Fall Off Boy. Wow. Okay. Was King Shark on my list or yours?
Yours.
Okay. So King Shark's explanation is pretty simple. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me because most of mine are digital. I'm using my phone to record. Should probably start taking physical notes. But anyways, King Shark is essentially the son of the shark god. And that's kind of it. Like, really, that's basically, he's a villain of Batman and the Flash, usually. And he's kind of just bigger Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Though there are some versions of him that are like tiny and like a skinny dude with shark teeth. And I believe he appears in the Arkham Asylum games in that version, where he's kind of just a sickly man with many rows of teeth.
Okay.
Which is gross. Like, it's almost sadder that way than this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes him and a character named Great White Shark are the same character. Sometimes they're not.
Okay.
So take what you get. But basically, what's interesting about him is he has eaten some of the Suicide Squad before, namely the Thinker.
No! Not
Oh, he's not the only person in the Suicide Squad who's killed the Thinker.
No.
His chances of living are not good.
But babe, the Thinker is kind of known for faking his death. So that's going to be one of my predictions, is that you're
Do you want a top 3 list of people in this movie who have canonically killed the Thinker?
Weasel, King Shark, and someone else? Probably Waller.
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag!
Rick Flag, King Shark, and Weasel have all killed the Thinker.
I know, but okay. Weasel didn't kill the Thinker. He like faked his death and popped up later in whatever that city is called that he lives in.
Peter Capaldi is very old, and kind of the issue with casting like him or Magneto, I'm blanking on his name.
Now I'm blanking on his name. Why'd you do that?
Ian McKellen. Yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons that like people don't cast like Ian McKellen or Michael Caine anymore is that realistically some stuff could happen during the film.
No, baby, no. They're gonna live forever. You're not gonna say that. No, no, no.
Look, I love Michael Caine to death.
Forever.
Master Wayne. Master Wayne. We have to get to the boat cave. Master Wayne. And as much as I'm going to miss hearing that voice someday, he is in his 80s, I think.
No.
Ian McKellen, I think, is getting up there. Peter Capaldi, pretty old. Like, that's kind of the problem, is that's why you don't cast actors that old, is because if something happens, your movie's ruined.
No, he's immortal, and we're not going to discuss this.
So I don't...
The lizards don't have feelings discussion. It's just going to have to be tabled forever, because I refuse. I refuse. I'm sorry, babe. No.
If anyone was wondering, science has proven that reptiles don't have the parts of their brain that feel compassion.
The parts of the brain that we think makes them feel compassion, but lizard brains are different than people brains, and therefore they could have a piece that we don't quite if you can't read lizard minds, you can't know. That's all I'm saying. You can't know. You can suspect, but you can't know. And even
Plants don't feel pain either.
that's actually debatable, but
they don't have a central nervous system or a brain to experience the concept of pain. That doesn't make sense.
There have been scientific stuff. Anyway, the point being,
water is wet.
I'm gonna fight you. Okay, so do you want me to take care of the Thinker or Polka Dot Man now?
Let's get Polka Dot Man out of the way.
All right, so Polka Dot Man wears an outfit, usually a white outfit with multicolored polka dots, and his...
This is almost a great idea, by the way. Almost.
Yes, so he takes the polka dot off his outfit, and it turns into whatever dumb thing he programmed it to be. So what his own quote about it is, "Inside my costume are wires connected to each dot. Well, a dot is in my costume. The dot is neutral, but when I rip off a dot, the dot is activated electronically, and then it does the job for which it is gimmicked." In case you want to know how dumb he is, that's how dumb
he is. Did you say gimmicked?
He did say gimmicked. I knew you would appreciate
that.
That.
Carney?
I'm gonna guess.
He's a carny.
So he's got
a freaking carny.
So he's got a flying buzzsaw dot, a flying saucer dot, a sun dot, a bubble dot, a fist dot, a hole dot, and I'm pretty sure he's just going to spend the entire movie making bad puns about spots. And
probably so. I should probably go over Weasel then.
Yeah, do Weasel.
So one of the things with Weasel is he originally started out as a man in a weasel suit, and he was basically a cartoon robber. That was kind of it. Later variants of him became less human, and it looks like this next version of the Weasel is an even further state of evolution away from him being human. But just knowing what I know about James Gunn, my theory is that he's going to kind of be this movie's Groot. He's going to be like a lovable pet mascot thing. You know what I mean?
Baby.
What?
He's Swiper from Dora the Explorer. Right? Right?
Oh my god.
Right?
I'm starting to lose my hope for this movie.
No, it's going to be excellent. I'm so excited.
James Gunn is really stretching what I'm hoping for.
See, like, while you get more bummed out, I get more excited.
Also, Batista ended up not getting his casting due to conflicts with his Marvel contracts, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, can we just take a second to respect the crap out of David Batista? Because my man Dave Batista basically was saying to Marvel, like, James Gunn... a couple of years ago, some online fans drudged up 10-year-old tweets from James Gunn where he said some pretty terrible things in a joking form. Now, whether or not you believe he can be forgiven for saying those things, whether it was dark humor or not, you have to be able to understand that, especially, but over a year, a person can change entirely. This was 10 years. James Gunn is an entirely different person than the person who made those tweets, so you can't hold him up now for something he did 10 years ago. Like, that's absurd. Like, if he was still doing it now, that's different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hold up Trey Parker and Matt Stone, for example, the guys who make South Park, right? They've been making South Park and making that kind of humor for 20 years.
Yeah.
If that was something that offended you, the show has not changed in 20 years.
Yeah.
So, in theory, if that was something that offended you, you could still be offended now because they're still doing it. James Gunn hasn't been making comments, humor, etc., or anything like that since. He's a different person.
Extremely apologetic.
Absolutely. So Dave Bautista said, if you guys are going to fire James Gunn for something he did 10 years ago, I'm going to walk. And he flat out did, but Disney held him to his contract. So James Gunn, I believe the next Guardians is going to be his last movie with Disney. And then he's going to continue working for DC.
Okay.
So this is his first movie with DC. I'm excited and scared to see what he does because he's really stretching himself for this one. Like, this is I made a joke about him flexing earlier. I think he's testing himself. Because
you have to, because it's like got a cast of like 800 people.
Well, it's even more ridiculous than Guardians. That's the only thing you can say.
Yeah.
You know? And he made us care about some of the silliest characters in movie history. You know? Absolutely. He made us care about Groot, who literally is a tree who can only say his name. Like, when you say that out loud, it sounds dumb. You know? Not when you say it out loud. Like let's just forget what we've seen.
Forget what we've seen.
Say it out loud. Say it for the first time. He's a tree.
He's a tree.
Who can only say his name and the word "I am."
And the
to
word,
quote, that's it. That doesn't sound like a good character in the slightest out loud, but he made us care about it.
That's true. I'm a big fan of trees. Me and trees go way back.
Wait. We need a florist because I don't know if plants have gender or not, and I keep referring to Groot as it.
Plants do occasionally have gender, yeah.
Does Groot have gender? Because I genuinely don't know.
Babe, the problem is that like we can't go with like regular botany or whatever tree science is called, arbalism or something. We can't go because he's an alien tree. Who knows?
It's a very good question that I have, and I want to know if canonically Groot is a boy, girl, or what.
I don't know because he's not an Earth tree. He's an alien tree.
Anyways, my point is that James Gunn made us care about a tree.
Yes.
So he's a very talented filmmaker, an incredibly gifted storyteller, but it's like he's literally given himself 10 times the challenge, as if he has something to prove. You know, I don't mean to like try and what's that called? Psychologically profile the guy.
Yeah.
But it's he's given himself 10 times the challenges he did with the Guardians, and that was already a challenge.
Yeah.
Fun fact: did you know that the robot in the original Guardians, who appears in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, was voiced by Miley Cyrus? Yeah, the one who's like the C-3PO looking robot who hangs out with Stallone.
Did I not see that movie? Because I have no memory of that.
She appears in 2 scenes, and one of them is an end credit scene.
Okay.
So, but it's voiced by Miley Cyrus.
That's awesome.
It only has like 2 lines, so you wouldn't know, but that was Miley Cyrus, which I find funny.
That is really
yeah, so James Gunn has a heck of a challenge here, and it is fearsome for me because I don't want to see him fail, especially when right now he's got a lot hanging on this movie. This is basically his career in the mainstream hanging in the balance right now, because after Disney, you can only really go down.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going to go and do some, like, Francis Ford Coppola stuff, what do you do?
DC movies don't have the best reputation either.
Exactly. They've made a total of 2 good movies?
Yeah.
And I haven't even seen Birds of Prey. I loved Shazam.
Birds of Prey is great. Shazam is
Love
great.
Shazam.
Are we counting the Joker as a DC movie?
No, only because it's not connected to the overall universe.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, the whole DC personality has become a problem because a lot of it was just in the view of Snyder, and Snyder's view on comic books is very strange.
Yeah.
How do I put this? Oh, okay, here's a good example. Snyder is a gifted filmmaker. He's a very good filmmaker. I'd put him up there with anybody, and that includes James Gunn. And I'd say he even has a very similar MO to James Gunn. They like to challenge themselves and make movies about things that nobody would really care about.
Yeah.
You know? The difference is that James Gunn has a fondness for lightheartedness that he can find in dark places.
Yes.
Zack Snyder seems to find dark things lighthearted as they are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It seems like everything now. I say this with respect. I don't want to be mean to anyone, but it seems like all of Snyder's movies like take a regular color palette and then make it a whole lot more gray.
Yeah.
Like it's like everything is through a filter of smog.
Yeah. So let's take The Watchmen, which I'd say is probably Zack Snyder's best movie. You know. So Zack Snyder said in interviews that The Watchmen is one of the few comic books he's ever been a fan of. No coincidence, the other one is The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
So the big difference is that he found a character like Rorschach to be, you know, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but, you know, one of the coolest comic book characters ever.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you and I both know this because we're big comic fans. The whole point of a character like Rorschach is he's supposed to be one of the most unlikable scum persons ever. I mean, he is racist, homophobic, he's sexist, like he's a murderer. He's a very skewed view of justice, and he takes it into his own hands and does some horrid, gruesome things.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rorschach, but I love him with the full knowledge that he is extremely flawed.
Yeah.
And because I
like,
love flawed characters.
Yeah. In the HBO show, in like the first episode, so this is barely a spoiler, they basically proved that they understand what Rorschach was about by having Rorschach's journal be the inspiration for a Ku Klux Klan style white supremacist movement who wear Rorschach masks and use his speech.
See,
like,
and
they proved they kind of understood what he was about by proving that he would only inspire more gross people.
Yeah, that's what I think about him, is that he's just like so repugnant, and that he doesn't necessarily, well, I guess he didn't intend for his journal to be widely read.
No.
But his viewpoints can be used to such an irresponsible degree that I feel like that's almost indicting the people who glorify Rorschach as a character in the wrong way. It's saying,
exactly,
you love Rorschach unironically without like seeing how he's problematic. This is what you'll become.
Exactly. And and if you watch The Watchmen, you know, most of the lines in the script are word for word.
Oh yeah.
Like Zack Snyder doesn't touch the actual script of The Watchmen. Like when he gave a script for The Watchmen, he basically just gave them the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the cinematography, however,
yes,
it's a lot of look at how cool this thing is shots. You know, like a lot of like Rorschach has a lot of like badass entrances and like things like that. You know, so he's very much cast as like just kind of a Punisher character.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. There's a lot of like triumph to Rorschach, as to where Rorschach is literally supposed to be the opposite, as Alan Moore intended. Like he's supposed to be completely without glory.
Yeah, yeah.
He's supposed to be a superhero gone completely wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the light of, say, Peacemaker, who is going to be in Suicide Squad.
So why don't you tell us about Peacemaker?
So Peacemaker is essentially a cop who is so John Cena described him as douchey Captain America in those words, and I'd argue that's not quite right. No offense to Sir Jonathan Cena, the man who will be invisible throughout the entire movie because you cannot see him.
I understood that reference.
Yay! I got a wrestling reference in here because John Cena and Dave Bautista. Thank you, boys. So anyways, John Cena's character, the Peacemaker, basically his whole gimmick is that he loves peace so much that if you are interrupting the peace, he will kill you. That's it. Like that's his gimmick, and that's really dark.
Yeah.
Like okay. So if you've ever seen not I Am Legend, iRobot. Have you ever seen iRobot? When the machine at the end of the movie describes her evil plan, basically she's like, to protect humans from each other, we have to destroy them all. It's the only way to keep the humans safe from the humans.
Yeah.
That's his logic, like in a nutshell. And by the way, speaking of characters who are going to die in this movie, he's one of 2 members of the Suicide Squad to have their own book. So I don't think... And John Cena's a big star, especially because a lot of people throughout the years have compared him to The Rock, and I think even the movie industry wants him to be The Rock.
Yeah.
So I don't see Peacemaker dying in this movie.
I do, but
why?
Because I don't want the Thinker to die, and I feel like if I make an even exchange, he won't.
Peter Capaldi has been killed by 3 people in this movie.
Yeah, fake killed, babe. Fake killed.
2 of them are real.
Killed, and then he shows up later in Keystone City like, haha, LOL, I'm alive.
2 of them are real.
I refuse to believe it. I'm
2
sorry.
of them are canon and real.
I mean, to be fair, there's been like 5 Thinkers, so...
Yeah, but then you would be trading out Peter Capaldi anyways.
No. I mean, like, any of the Thinkers that have been killed for realsies don't necessarily have to be my Thinker.
True. But that doesn't mean there's 2 Thinkers in the movie. We know who's been cast. It's Peter Capaldi as the Thinker.
I know that. So, have you gotten what you need to get with Peacemaker?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything else to say about Peacemaker?
So, I have a theory about Peacemaker. I think he might be part of the reason Suicide Squad characters got... I think he might secretly be the villain.
Okay.
So basically the idea is that, they've rounded up all these terrible characters to be members of it's the plot of the last movie.
Yeah.
Something's going to go wrong, they have to go punch it.
Yes.
Which, the first Suicide Squad brain movie still hurts my head because the whole logic was Superman, if there was an evil Superman, he would be a threat to all mankind, so we need a dude with guns, a dude with a boomerang, a chick with a bat, a crocodile, a chick with a sword to fight him.
And someone with phenomenal cosmic powers and no moral compass. Just like they're accusing Superman of doing.
Like, that was a stupid idea.
It was dumb.
Yeah. Like, how did they even kill her in the movie again? Because Diablo seemed to be the only person who stood a chance.
Diablo.
He should have just been the whole Suicide Squad, basically.
I mean, man, I love Diablo.
Diablo was such a great character, and I am furious that he dies at the end.
Yeah. Hopefully it's
what a character.
Fakey die, but
I mean, he's not in the cast of this movie, and he went in interviews as to say Diablo could. There were many Diablos throughout the series of the comics, and then another Diablo could come by. And if you think about it, I think he brought up the fact that his power is fire, but he was killed by an explosion, which doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
God, what a useless movie.
Yeah, no, but I'm not thinking Diablo's going to come back in a movie. I'm just like, I like to imagine Diablo living on a farm somewhere, just happy and healthy and doing farm stuff.
The point is, I miss Diablo. He was the best character in the whole movie.
Me too.
I have his pop vinyl somewhere.
I have his action figure. I actually do have his action figure, not one of my...
Yeah, not the pun. She really does. We both have Diablo action figures, basically.
Yeah.
Diablo is so cool.
So cool.
But anyways, back to the main Suicide Squad. So I think Peacemaker may be the villain. I think he might be the character gone wrong. I think he's going to start offing the Suicide Squad from within during a different mission. So basically, my theory is that they're going to have a mission to go on. There is going to be another villain, but the Suicide Squad characters are going to keep getting picked off throughout the movie. It's almost going to be mysterious because it doesn't look like they were killed by the villain of the movie, and then it turns out that it was Peacemaker. because don't you remember last time the Suicide Squad got like a whole city block killed? Don't you remember? I'm going to cure the world of the Suicide Squad for peace.
Yeah, dude, I really like that.
So John Cena's, this is my theory, John Cena's going to go crazy and start killing the other members. Idris Elba is kind of going to be his counterpart. He's like, I have no qualms about being a killer. I'm a killer. It's all I'm good at. So I'm just going to keep killing. If I'm getting paid for the job, at least I'm getting paid. If I'm getting free for this job, at least I'm getting free. I don't care. So my theory is that, like he's going to be the counterpoint to Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Because if you think about their names, Peacemaker is very hypocritical, but Bloodsport is very literal.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's my theory. Also, I'm kind of worried about Harley being in this movie.
Why?
So, remember in episode 2 how I said X-Men should be void of Wolverine because he overcast the whole team?
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
That same reason, because this is a really kind of rough thing about this movie, is that you've got this big cast, you've got some notable actors, but as far as characters go, Harley Quinn's the only one anyone cares about.
I care
about the Thinker because Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're alone in this, but you're one of few.
Well, I mean, no.
I'm glad this chat doesn't end up in the final version because my brother is a dork.
Okay, so that's him.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Matthew.
So should I do Thinker now?
Yes. Go Thinker.
There's like 5 different Thinkers. Clifford DeVoe is who we're getting. But honestly, he's kind of mixed with the unnamed Thinker in the New 52, who has a bunch of like nodes in his head and he's all bald and like all that stuff. The original Clifford DeVoe was a lawyer, and he was with the prosecution, and criminals, he noticed, had crude abilities, but they did not have the brains, and he had the brains. So for a while he worked for the mob, and he was kind of the thinker behind the crimes. And he was willing to get his hands dirty every once in a while. And once he started doing that, the mob guys were like, yeah, we might have an issue here. Like, we created a monster. And so he works usually in Keystone City, Kansas. He has a thinking cap that gives him like crazy brain powers because, of course, he has telekinesis and telepathy. He's really, really cool. So he was originally a Flash villain. And the thinking cap, after he faked his death, because he fakes his death, that is a thing he does. He has terminal cancer because of the thinking cap that amplified his abilities. And he made peace with the Flash, with Jay Garrick. And they're like, his final words was, let me see if I can read my own handwriting. Learn to lose every once in a while. A little humility prepares you for what lies ahead. So there's him, but then there's the New 52 Thinker, which in my research, he wasn't given a name, but they're obviously mixing him up with Clifford DeVoe and making him into like one character. And
right.
His little thinking cap brain node thing ages him prematurely. So what I'm really saying here is that Peter Capaldi is going to be playing someone in their late 20s or early 30s.
So, so the whole point is that, so to clarify what she means, because I wondered if that phrasing might confuse anyone.
Yeah.
So one of his superpowers ages him rapidly.
Well, not
the
little things he put.
Right. So my point is, though, is that one of the things that's wrong with him is that it ages him rapidly. So he might be like a millennial in a 70-year-old body, which could be really freaking funny.
Amazing. So Peter Capaldi.
Especially when Peacemaker shoots him in the face.
Not going to happen. I refuse.
Or when King Shark eats him.
Okay, so maybe it's a...
Or when Weasel eats him.
Just shut up.
Or when Rick Flag tears off the thinking cap.
Oh.
All things that could happen.
All those things will happen to his fake self, his What's the
You mean
word?
like how Mysterio clearly fake died in Far From Home?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's no way Mysterio's dead. That was
Uh-huh.
stupid for them to even try and make us think that Mysterio's really dead.
Yeah.
Like, his whole gimmick is, like, special effects. He fakes his death every week.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the Thinker. Anyway, so Clifford DeVoe is for sure a millennial, and he's gonna be Peter Capaldi eating avocado toast. Peter Capaldi using internet slang IRL.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Yeah. Capaldi mooching off of his parents' Netflix account. Capaldi's mom being like, I made some pizza pockets for you and your little friends, and coming down the stairs to the basement with a
But Mom, you are embarrassing me.
for the whole Suicide Squad. Just like
Oh, wait.
snack for your
I can't do a lot of British accents. I can only do Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But Mom, Mom, man, you are going to embarrass us in the Batcave.
Yeah. So basically,
It's not
like
Michael Caine.
he's
You're
awesome.
calling.
He's the best. And I really, really, really hope they lean into the fact that he's aged rapidly and he is not as old as he looks. And I hope he gets like annoyed at Amanda Waller for being some old lady who's ordering him around. And
You're not the boss of me, lady.
like they really need I really hope they lean into
Oh my god,
being younger than
he better use his mind powers to like kill a swarm of enemies and yell, "Begone, thoughts!"
something.
How awesome would that be?
It'd be awesome. He's the best. He's the best on the squad, and he's gonna survive because
Right. But he's not gonna survive.
he's gonna fakes his death, babe.
He's not gonna survive.
You do this to me.
Um.
Peter Capaldi is so great. His eyebrows are going to have.
Oh, we skipped Javelin and the two girls.
All right, go for Javelin.
Okay. Javelin throws javelin. He sucks and he's gonna die.
Okay, yeah.
He's played by like a Swedish DJ, I think.
Okay.
He's gonna die.
Okay.
That's it. He is the Slipknot of this movie. He's the worst character.
So like, I mean, bless the squad. First off, why is Waller not in prison? Waller should be in prison.
Because Waller runs the prisons. Why would she put herself in prison?
I mean, she wouldn't, but she's not like. Someone's got to put her in jail for this crap.
Waller is one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe for no reason. Like, it's not a literal power. She just runs the world as the Illuminati because of Star Labs or something.
So, like...
It's both the coolest and dumbest... Because, like, when you say it out loud, it sounds dumb.
Yeah.
But she's basically the face of, like, the Illuminati.
So, like, Javelin's power is I can throw sharp sticks.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yep.
it's kind of... Like, they've got to be, like, magic sharp sticks, right? Like...
Nope. They're
like,
just sharp sticks. They're
like
literally...
Hawkeye has some, like, magic arrows that, like, explode and stuff.
Yeah, but I guarantee you... Okay, Javelin is not making it out of the first 20 minutes of this movie. Watch this episode in 2021 before you see the Suicide Squad. Javelin is not going to make it out of the first 20 minutes of Suicide Squad alive.
I feel that way about Polka Dot Man, and I kind of feel that way about Arm Fall Off Boy, except
I agree.
half of me, half of me hopes that he's actually going to save the day. Like,
Which one?
Arm Fall Off Boy. Like, they think it's all over, and then plorp, and he hits someone. And then he saves the day. Plorp. It's plorp.
So one of the girls who I am about to F up her name, it sounds kind of like Suspiria, is basically a girl bounty hunter, and she might have a huge role in the movie, is what a lot of people are saying.
Okay.
And then, this is really interesting. Again, blanking on the name. I was terrible about notes this time. The Mongol's sister.
Yes! Mongal.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, we can.
The Mongol's now canon.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the Mongol is basically the collector of DC. That doesn't clarify anything. Nobody knows who that is. Basically, they both have the same... He was in the movie, but he barely does anything.
Yeah.
But basically, they both have the same gimmick.
Yeah.
The Mongol and the Collector are essentially the same character. Basically, what they do is they kidnap people around the universe who are very powerful and have them fight to the death on their home planet. In Mongol's case, this is War World. Mongol has betrayed and murdered his sister several times.
Yeah, and his sister's who's in the movie.
Yep. So he might show up and kill her for fun, and that might be funny. Also, apparently, she was a stunt actress in Wonder Woman. So upgrade. Good for her. But that's pretty much the cast of the Suicide Squad, except for we forgot Savant, who is Michael Rooker's character.
Yeah,
and Weasel's his brother. Weasel is James Gunn's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Weasel, again, my theory is he's going to be the Groot of the Suicide Squad.
See, I'm thinking he's going to be the Rocket.
I don't think he's going to talk very much is my thing. Like, he's going to be wordless like Pet.
Okay, maybe.
Right.
Savant is a hacker dude, and that's all I know about him.
So Savant is a rich brat, like, prep school, like, entitled, like, wannabe, who really wanted to be a superhero, got the crap beat out of him by real supervillains when he tried to get into the business, tried to join the Justice League. The Justice League said, kid, you got nothing. Sit in the chair, do some hacking. And he was really good at it, so he basically became this replacement for Oracle.
Okay.
That's it. But what I think is funny about this is that he's being played by very old Michael Rooker.
I mean, I guess it would be like after Savant's been doing this for a while, and he's like, why am I the dude in the chair? Like,
I think it'd be really funny if he had a scene with Peter Capaldi's character, and he's like, I guess I'm not the only old timer around here. Old timer? How dare you, boomer?
Yes. I love Rooker too. I love him. Love him. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Do you want to play a game?
I'm scared.
Okay, so it's the put names of the squad people in a hat and then pull them out and see who would win in a fight.
How would I do that?
I have a hat. This is my head writer hat, which I made because it's funny because I'm a writer and it goes on my head and I'm the head writer. And I have slips of paper with squad names in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I just say real quick that King Shark eats them all?
Yeah.
That one's unfair.
Oh, no. Okay, so I've got the Thinker versus Javelin. The Thinker.
Yeah, Javelin tries to throw a spear, and Peacemaker's like, bitch, please, and shoots it right back at him and impales him into a wall dead. Instant.
No,
2 second fight.
It's not versus Peacemaker, it's versus the Thinker.
That's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Thinker sees it coming and is like, no, we're going to shish kebab Javelin.
Yep.
Okay, so...
And our Fall Out Boy ends up in the shish kebab for no reason because he's useless.
Yes. So Bloodsport versus Peacemaker. Oh, shoot. Bloodsport versus Peacemaker. That's a tough one.
That's a close one. That's the problem.
That is.
That one would come down to, like, luck.
Yeah, luck, or they'd both end up really, really bloody.
I think Peacemaker ends up retreating to live to fight another day.
Okay.
So he can regroup and plan to fight against Bloodsport.
All right, I can see that.
I originally saw Idris Elba dying, but then I thought about it, and I think that he might stick around a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Or, like, he'll do, like, the self-sacrifice thing, because you'd expect that out of Peacemaker, but not Bloodsport, and, like, he'll pull a Diablo.
Right.
Weasel versus Savant.
I think Weasel does kill Savant in the comics.
What?
I think I might be misremembering that. I'd say to straight up fight Weasel, but if this is a thing where, like, I don't know, Savant is like hacking technology in a building that can hurt Weasel, I'd say that maybe he has the opportunity there.
Okay. Yeah, I dig it. All right. Mongol versus Captain Boomerang. It's Mongol for sure, right?
Mongol would... Why is Mongol in the hat?
Mongol spelled G-A-L like gal.
Oh, Mongal?
Yeah, but I'm not going to say it like
Mongal still rips him in half.
Yeah, or uses like the chest blaster thing she has, because she has one of them like her brother.
Yeah. Dead. Gone. Buried. Goodbye. Good night. See you soon.
Yes. So, and then we have.
What do we got?
Arm Fall Off Boy versus King Shark.
King Shark!
The
Okay,
weakest
can I
person.
just say something real quick?
Hmm?
I wish the Macho Man Randy Savage wasn't dead so he could voice one of these like more cartoony supervillains in movies like a Groot or a King Shark. Because can you imagine how funny it would be if King Shark was like, "Oh no, little brother, you're looking mighty tasty today, yeah."
That would be excellent. So I think Arm Fall Off Boy might survive even if he loses the fight.
For you comic book fans who don't know who Macho Man Randy Savage is, you do. He was Bonesaw in Spider-Man 1.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's who Randy Savage is. And he really talks like that. That wasn't like a voice effect he was doing in that movie. You know, Bonesaw is ready. No, that's really just how he talks.
That's amazing. So Arm Fall Off Boy is going to survive the fight, though, because he's going to plorp, throw his arm at him, and then run.
I don't think King Shark would stop, though. He's a shark.
Got a tasty arm.
I think he'd, like, swallow that thing whole and just go running.
No.
I think Nathan Fillion's not making it in this movie alive.
No, but what about his poor butt fall off Gima Deb Deb?
King Shark would eat his whole family as an appetizer.
Much. Butt fall off Gima Deb Deb.
Baby, King Shark is one of the scariest things I could ever imagine. It's a land shark.
Yeah, that is spooky.
That is terrifying. I would not F with a land shark.
Yeah, no.
Also, there's a real movie called Sand Shark starring Brooke Hogan, and it's awful. It's a ripoff of Jaws on land.
Sharks.
What?
There's a cartoon called Street Sharks.
Oh, I love the Street Sharks.
Me too.
I forgot about them.
Aren't they excellent? They're like.
I think my friend Alexander Hammerstone tweeted about them recently. Oh, we're on the clock. We gotta get out of here.
Dude, how much time do we have?
20 seconds.
Oh, dang it. I have so much more.
Everyone, thank you for coming. We will see you next episode. I don't know what we're doing yet, but subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our Twitter, our Instagram, etc. And we'll see you next time.
See you.
We had a lot of fun. Goodbye.